Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. This is gonna be the ultimate, absolutely best build for Annette. Take note of the equipment there. This is the last video I made. This is the build I came up with, I call the best, but I actually found a better version of it. So essentially, you see there that I'm using the level 3 and level 2 damage. However, it works best when you have this, the what's it called, the clause there that increases the infection as well as slightly increase the damage, this one, and then you just leave it at level medium there on the damage, and then increase the infection there as I did on the second slot. There's for the, so we have levels, I have level 3 and level 2 infection there, I have the claws, and I have the level 2 damage. So that's the best equipment, because in terms of damage, that change really doesn't do anything. Like, you're still gonna kill them with the same amount of hits. The only thing that's really going to change is the damage on the biting, but you know, it's really not that noticeable, so you might as well go for extra infection, and you see how that's insanely powerful when you have the infection that high. So changing that level 3 damage to the claws plus the level 2 infection was really just completely changed this build. I mean, it was still good the other way, but now it's just like fucking impossible, you know? So as far as the passive abilities, I'm using the Birking where he comes back faster. Yeah, I'll show you guys the deck as well. I have like 4 matches or so in this video, so you guys are gonna see the complete build here, and you can really see how it just demolishes all kinds of teams. I don't think neither one of them got to Area 3, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't quite remember. We'll see. But especially the last game was against a really sweaty, like extremely sweaty SWAT team. I think it was probably the best match out of these 4, the toughest one. So I'm sure you guys enjoyed that at the end. So like I was saying. Take note of the deck as well. The deck, I have the viral mod for infection. That's really important because this build is really it's really a combo of Alex playstyle with Daniel playstyle. So you know, she's kind of super strong because it kind of combines, you know, the both strengths of those 2 kills into one, which is Annette. Not just that, but she also has the one of the passes that I'm using. Speaking of which, is the one that increases the effect of the buffs. Right, is the second slot on the passives there, increases the effect of all the buffs. So essentially, because of that, she's also going to get more energy from hitting the survivors from the energy leech. So it's like she's a Daniel with a mix of an Alex, but also has a, you know, extra buffs on everything. It just works better for her in general. So it's just like 3 things in one. It's just so strong. Now you notice the deck here. Now the deck here. I think this is the first match, so I haven't changed it yet. But you definitely, I don't think it's a good idea to use the cashier there. But I'll definitely switch it up. I'll change it later on the other games, because I remember I changed that. The cashier there is not the best card, I would say, because she gives 10 seconds. You know, it's best to use. You notice that I use creatures that only give 5 seconds, because this build is winning about time, but it's also it's like it's too good. You know, it has everything. You have the damage. The damage is really high. It's pretty good. It's like very noticeable, but you also have the time factor. You're just taking time so quickly because of the infection. So as you guys see here, and you see, kind of take note of the time there, how it kind of goes super quick. Now with this build set up the way it is, they're gonna get infected with only 5 seconds. You see right there the damage. The fact that I have increased damage, he was gonna go down right there on that single bite after all those hits. If you don't have the damage, that's not gonna happen. You know, they're not gonna go down that easily. But because you have the damage, you know, it's just how it's like that constant threat. You know, they can go down. Besides the infection itself, which also drains their health constantly because they are on level 3 infection like so easily. You see right there, he went down already. But like I was saying, they get infected like a level 1 worth of infection in only 5 seconds of staying near you, which is almost nothing. It's kind of crazy actually. It's almost like Alex level type of infection. So, which again, like I said, is like a mix of Alex and Daniel. So if you imagine like doing hits like I'm doing here, also swinging at them 3 times is also gonna get them infected. So let's say there's 0 infection and you hit them 3 times, they're gonna cough immediately after the third hit because they're gonna get level 1 infection. So you can even go for a grab at that point if you want to, because they're gonna get kind of stunned by the cough. So it's like so good in so many levels, and you can see right there the time just like, you know, everything on the time just like went out of the window, and they're still getting bitten and everything because it's like the zombies. It's pretty almost impossible that they will not get infected every time they go through a door or something like that and deal with the zombie, because they're gonna get hit. It only takes 5 seconds near you to get infected, so it's just too much. It's too quick, you know. They're gonna get infected. Uh, but from getting infected alone, they're already gonna cough, so they're losing 5 seconds already just from getting infected. Even if you like don't hit them at all, if you're still doing hits on them, every single swing is also gonna take a second out of them. If you get a bite on top of that, it's gonna be like more plus 50 seconds. So it's like they're losing essentially possibly like 30 seconds for every zombie encounter. But you're only giving them 5 seconds when the zombie dies. So it's like super, you know, unbalanced in a sense in your favor in terms of the time. So that's why this build is like super strong, not just for the damage but also for the time using the infection. As you guys could tell there, how quickly they ran out of time. So moving on to the second match here, as you saw, right? Also, I'm using like I said, I'm using the passive for Birkin to come back faster. The second passive right there, the second slot below the one that's selected right now, is the one where it increases the effect of all the buffs. And the third slot, which is the final one, I'm using the one that increases the overall health of the zombies. Okay, so I didn't comment on that yet, but that's the one I'm using. You can see the special cards there as well. I have the fat zombies. Those can come in handy, especially the first one that gives the other creatures the berserker effect. So that also combos super well. The double zombie there is just because it's kind of cheap, you know, 5 points for two fat ones. They're really hard to kill if you're controlling them. So I think it's kind of worth it. So that's why I'm using that instead of the concentration mod, because it's all about spreading the infection. It's not so much about buffing the creatures. You know, they already have the buff from the Viro mod, so it's really no other buff you need. You already have the cameras on your deck as well. That's gonna give the manage, leech, and regen. So like, I don't think the concentration is really that necessary. Um, so yeah, here we go. Second game. We have almost a meta team here. Just the I would say the Jewel there. If it was a Gen instead of a Jewel there, it would definitely be a meta squad with the survivors here. We have Casino as well. Also, I don't know if you guys took note, but I'm using my infection preset, which I have the infectious zombies on the doors. Also, talking a little bit more about the deck, as you could tell, I have 3 mods. This mod that I'm selected right now, which is the power limiter, that makes the Birkin, you know, the weapon recharge faster. That's not like super necessary, but I just like to throw it in there because there's really like nothing, you know, better to put there. I don't want to put the fat zombie because I already have so many of them on my special cards, you know. So it's like if I put the cashier or something, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna give them 10 seconds. So I don't really like that. So you see right there, this match already changed the cashier like I mentioned earlier. Now I'm using the infectious zombie. Even though I already have the Viro mod, I still have the infectious zombie on my deck simply because he, you know, he gets less time and he, you know, costs the same amount as a cashier would. Now going back to the mod, like I was saying, but I think it's just good to throw it in there because it really doesn't, you know, it's not that big of a deal that you have 3 mods in your hand. It doesn't really, because you're only using like single creatures for the most part, so you know, it doesn't really. And here again is like these people that like to rush. This is also where the damage comes in handy quite a lot. Because this is a good way to counter this build, right? Because since it's so strong on stealing damage, stealing time, the fact that they're rushing like this is actually a good strategy because it, you know, it does not allow you to eat their time away that easily. Because they're going so fast, like even though you're taking time super fast, they're also going so fast that, you know, the time kind of never ends. And you see right there, they already got all the keys and they're running out. The best SWAT teams, they usually do this. They just eat the damage and go through the creatures and get the objective. Especially in area 1, they can do this, right? But on especially area 3, this is not a viable strategy. But especially in area 1 and 2, this is definitely a strategy you can apply to speed rush the objective. Now the reason why I have the the armored zombie here in the deck is also because he gives only 5 seconds, but he's also armored. So from this range, and this melee range, it's really hard to deal with them if you only have a weapon, which is what most survivors use, right? Unless you're Tyrone or Samuel, they're probably gonna have a weapon. So it makes it really hard for them to deal with your armored zombie hitting them from that distance, especially when you're holding the doors like I usually do. So that's the reason I have the armor there. So you see the time is still good because they rush that so quickly and like there's no way I can stop them. But it's all good because we're still gonna, you know, the build is still strong, so we can still eat our time away. We also have not used Birkin yet, so Birkin is kind of can be kind of a crutch play there. So I'm gonna move what's it called, Yark here to a more like, you know, tight area, because that's better for me to use my to control my creatures. Gonna lock that door again. I think it's kind of dumb how the zombies like remove the lock from the doors. They should, once they close it, it should go back to where it was, I think. I don't know. So you see right there, they open the door. They're already taking those 3 swings that I mentioned. Notice right here as well that I ran behind them. That makes it like much harder for them to deal with you swinging at them as well. If you just keep like going back, like behind their back and then in front of them, like running around. So again, he's gonna go down because of the bite. So that's why I'm using Birking here. 'Cause I was hoping to stop them from killing. So this I'm not already gonna get, because he's too slow, right? Samuel is too fast. So there's no point in using the Birking there. I need to focus on the guy that has the key. That's all that matters. In area 2 like this, you really don't need to worry so much about the others. It's more about the whoever has the key. And you see right here, even though they're getting the objective done, just by spawning the creatures on top of them like that, they're getting infected. So they're gonna get like level 3 infection just from like staying too long close to the creature like this. You see right here, I got 2 swings. I still got a bite. It's like, you know, it's like almost like 20 seconds gone right there just from that single Tyrone interaction. Plus the damage he's gonna take, right? And he's also gonna be like infection level 3, which is gonna eat more time away over time along as the match goes along. Makes them run out of resources really quickly too. As you see right there, they're not using herbs or anything. They're kind of out of resources at this point. Especially the survivors that rush like this. They usually run out of resources. Now Val was camping the camera here like a good SWAT team. She was already camping on the objective. And you see right here the fact that I have the passive for making Birkin come back faster. And the fact that I'm also using the limiter mod on top of that, the power limiter. It makes him, you know, a little bit even faster. To already have him back. And by the way, I think you need to make him come back when it's like, I think around like there, like 35 seconds max, maybe 40 seconds. That's when you want to be exiting him, because that's when you get the most benefit out of the passive ability there. You see, I'm focusing on Samuel. They're all injured because they, you know, they're rushing so hard. They don't probably don't even pick up items or anything around the map. You know, they just rush the objective. And here I'm really just stalling. I'm not leaving Birking, because my goal here is really just to stall them. You see, like, the time is just eating away like crazy while they're kind of dealing with him here, because they're all infected. They don't have herbs to cure that. And now also one thing that I also did, I forced them out of that room with Birking, so now I can set up the same room again as they go in, as they go back inside. And again, every time they interact with the creature, they're gonna get infected. You see Val already shooting my camera there. She didn't notice that I have a zombie there. And you know, at this point, it's like there's no way. Everyone's like infected in level 3. It's like it's too much going on. And just like that. So you see, even with these guys that are rushing, if you play it right, they're still gonna lose. The infection is like so strong. So yeah, this was a good example of a rush team. But I still think the 4th match was the hardest one. Those guys were really, they were somehow like rushing, I think, even harder than these guys were here. But I'm moving on. So 3rd match. The deck. I don't think I showed the deck. Cause I'm sorry, cause usually when I record the games like this, I'm not actually thinking about recording them, so I don't usually go like over the entire build. Oh, there's a deck. Okay, so you guys can pause the video if you want to see that. But yep. Now, also another reason why this works so well is because if you watch my other videos where like my Daniel builds and Alex builds, you see that I have the viruses on the equipment for taking less damage when I'm controlling the creatures. But the reason why Annette doesn't need that is because she has that passive that I'm using, which increases the overall health. Because when you're controlling the zombie by default, you're already losing, you're already taking like 50% less damage, you know. And the fact that they have like super extra health because of her passive, it kind of makes it like they already have a default less damage virus onto them. You know what I mean? It's like the same effect of Daniel, but without actually using any viruses to it to achieve it. So that's why it's super good, and it allows me to use the build, focus on the infection and the damage, and not have to worry about making the creatures last longer, because they already last long enough. You know, you could use that if you want. It's gonna make them last even longer, but I just don't feel like it's necessary. The damage and the infection is just goes helps a lot more. Now, having that passive where it increases the effect of the buffs is essentially like having an extra level 2 equipment of the infection on the build. So that's why the infection gets so strong, like 5 seconds. It's ridiculous. I think Alex, using her passive for infection and everything together, can make it around 3 or 4 seconds or so, which is so essentially is like, pretty much Alex level of infection is quite crazy. But the numbers are super good. Like the fact that you can with only 3 hits they're already infected. That's super good. And 5 seconds is also so little time. It's like right here I was hoping to chain bite, but that damn shotgun with the Jill, she got my armor zombie off before she could finish the bite. That shotgun is kind of OP, man. It has way too much knockback. It's ridiculous. So you see right here, this Martin is trying to rush. So because of the high damage, he's gonna get punished for this. You see, they're also you see 6 hits already there, and he's already on the red damage. So there you go. He gets punished for trying to rush. This is also good about this build. Is the damage when you have this high damage, or if you have something like immobilizing rounds with the machine gun on the camera, you can focus on these solo guys really easy and down them. These solo guys are also really easy to chain bite if you have more than one creature. So you see Martin got paid the price right there, and he probably has no items as well, so he won't be able to heal himself because he probably chose to rush instead of buying stuff, collecting stuff around. They don't even pick up items around the map as well, you can tell. But this can work, but it can also backfire. If you're good enough and you know how to punish them, like I did here, it often backfires at them. This strategy here of rushing alone and everything. Oh, like I said, like the buff, it's all buffs that get increased, right? So even the regen on Annette also gets stronger. It's not just the aura of infection. It's all kinds of buff. The berserker, everything is just double. Yeah, not really double. I think it's like a 30% buff. So you get 30% more effect out of everything, which is like super strong. You see right there, I'm setting that zombie because I know this zombie right here that I'm controlling right now is gonna die. So I'm already setting up his backup there. After they get through him. For example, right now he's gonna get stunned from getting put on the ground, so that's why I can control him and already get my second bite off here as she's turning the corner. Fortunately, she was able to do that animation there with a dodge, but you see the time is just like ticking away like crazy. And they still have 2 people here in the back, so I'll focus on them. Now, what the other 2 should have done is really come back here to help these 2, but I guess they're just counting on them to not die or something. Right here, I should have probably spawned that other zombie that I had on my hands as well. I think it's all good. So I'm gonna wait for them to turn the corner here because that's a little more, has a bit more of a surprise factor. You see right there, I kind of baited his swing before I hit him. That's a really good, especially when he's kicking you. That's a super good strategy. You see right there, the high damage, he's already down. It makes a huge difference. You see I have the flash there as well, but I think I'm gonna save it for the second. It would be a good time to use now, but because I know, because of the way the overtime works, they're gonna go to the next area, so I'm gonna save my flash instead of using it here. But if they did not get through, you see right now they can get through with negative time. If that didn't happen, it would be worth using the flashbang. No, is it flashbang or EMP is called, I think, right? It's called flash there, but it's in Spanish, I believe, or Italian. So you see the Martin DC because he noticed he was not gonna win. So like a typical sweat who can't take a loss, he just DCs when he knows he's about to lose. Like he tries his hardest, but when he's about to lose, he just can't take it. It's like so dumb, so childish. So you see right there, 3 hits. They're already. It's like super strong. They're already on infection, and the fact that they cough, it just stops them. Like it's like you can get a free bites and everything. It's so good. Now, unfortunately, the zombies followed them over here. That was not my intent, but it's all good. Like, the time is just... There's nothing they can do here at this point. Becca is also like 1 hit from dying, so if I see her again, she's dead. See that shotgun, man, so much knockback. You see what I mentioned about the fat zombies being so strong? This is what I mean. And that was without, I think he was not using regen on that fat zombie right there. Because if he has regen, it's like even worse. It's like so good. It's like having that viruses for taking less damage without actually having it, simply because of the regen like effect on the passive that increases 30% of the effect of the regen. Just the fact that the overall health increases so much by the passive, I mean, it's so good. One thing I think is like the devs do is like they balance the game around a net. Like the creatures don't base level is not that high to health simply because of a net's passive, because that would completely make her overpowered. I feel like they balance around her, which makes all the other creatures suck for the other masterminds, but for her it's like super good. It's like balanced. Now it seems we finally arrived to the last match that I was mentioning so much about. That super tryhard team. But it was kind of tough, but you see that the build still holds its ground. Now you gotta understand too that this build it gets stronger as the game progresses. You know, you see that these teams are losing on area 1 and 2, but you gotta remember that the build gets even stronger as the match goes on because you're getting more energy. It's getting, you know, as you get to area 3, your energy replenishes faster. Um, you have the special cards, so you're getting more fat zombies as well. And not just that, but Birking, once you get it the first time, it just becomes kind of stackable in a sense, because since you're gonna be constantly leaving him earlier, you're just gonna be like, you know, reusing him all the time. As soon as you get it the first time on area 2. So you see, I'm level 91 on that. You see these guys like there's like 2 level above 100 there, 150 or so. I'm pretty sure they must be in a squad. I'm not sure, man. I mean, they gotta be together, right? Because the way they were playing, I mean, I don't know if there would be solo players, but regardless, all of them are like by itself pretty good. They don't even need to be in a squad to play like a squad, you know? So, like I said, you see I chose to spawn the Armadillo because he's the best one for doing this kind of game here where we're holding the door. Because he cannot get knocked back so easily. I'm not sure though, but I think the shotgun can actually knock him back without actually hitting his limbs that are exposed. I'm not sure, but I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised because that gun is so stupidly overpowered. So it would not surprise me if it actually knocks back him without actually hitting where he's vulnerable. So you see what I mean as well. If they stun you, they can get like past you very easily as well. So she's trying to rush here, obviously. So I'm gonna. She's alone, so he's a free bite as well. So I'm gonna take the bite. It's already like 15 seconds. She's probably infection 2 there at least already. And you see, again, like when they rush like this, they usually do not have many resources because they just don't stop to get anything. You should try to capitalize on that as much as you can. The problem is that, you know, it's just Mastermind is so slow to do everything, you know, like go inside the creature like this, you know, like takes like 5 seconds, like, you know. If things were a little fast, you see, like, here's a good example. I can't even keep up with her just because it's so slow it takes to, you know, simply go inside the creature, let alone like control her or do everything, walk around. So wish it would be a little faster to do stuff, but well, you just gotta go, you know, you just gotta do things a little earlier to compensate for how slow it is. So again, he's moving alone, so he's a free chain bite, things like that. Get as much as I can out of him. They use the you know, the flashbang there as well. It's something I see they're using a lot. They just stun lock you, or they use flashbangs and then just kind of go through the creatures, or they just eat the damage straight out, eat the damage. This is a good strategy because depending how fast you do area 1 like this, it can really spoil. What I mean, like, kind of you know, carry on to this time bonus, like 5 minutes for example. It can help you out on the other areas as well. So it's not that bad of a strategy. Now, here I was kind of thinking about spawning him. I spawned him here because she has I can control my creatures, the EIS is blocked there. So I just thought, because if they try to rush and I couldn't control him, it would defeat my purpose there. So that's why I spawned him on the other side of the door. Now they're going, I don't know why they go around like this, I guess to get the items. But now that I can control him, now it's a good idea. And also notice that I choose the armored zombie as well. Now, Samuel is pretty tough as well when you're not Daniel, because he can like keep stunning, locking you with the shotgun's already like stun lock you forever, but you still got to deal with Samuel like punching you and shit. So really annoying. And like they're so fast, like it's so dumb too, like how Samuel is like literally faster than a bioweapon. Like come on, man. But yeah, I'm just trying to like move my hand here. That's really what I'm trying there. Just want to move my hand. That's all. If I can't, like, it's too much to ask. Too much to ask for, I think. So again, the good thing is that they're usually very distracted when they are. You see, again, so long to go inside the zombie, I can't capitalize on my bite there. Too slow, too slow. So I see he's rushing here. I'm gonna use Birking. I could have used the zombie, but I mean, I just could have used Birking because I probably would not have been able to stop him there if I used the creature. So now I can stop him from his new objective. But that was really just to push him away. Because like, remember, Birkin's gonna come back super fast, especially if you leave him like I did there before, like 40 seconds or so. 35. I think 35 is the limit. I'm not entirely sure, but for sure, 40 seconds is a safe number. He will come back like super fast. You see here now, because I used Birkin to push him off, now I have time to set up these creatures here, so he can't really get the objective. He's gonna be forced to, if he wants to, right? Go all the way to the other side of the map. Now this power from January can be problematic if you're playing Danny or Alex, because you know my strategy always revolves around controlling the creatures when I'm using creatures, and the fact that she stops that from happening is really annoying as well. You can kind of mess things up a little. So they're also locked in the room here, so I'm gonna use Birkin as well. You see how fast he came back? It's because, like I mentioned, like if you leave him before like 40 seconds or something like that, he comes back this fast every time, and you can just like keep spamming him to kind of push them out of the objective, you know, whatnot. Maybe get some kills like you see me doing here, and then you just kind of leave him again. So you see, it's about 40 seconds, so I'm gonna leave him less than before 35 there, so I can get him fast again. They're already down, so I already got my pressure out of him. But at this point, I mean, everyone's going down. It's like he's the only one left trying to rush. Get bitten as well. I got the grenade launcher. GG. So you see right there, that was a really good team, but they just essentially got destroyed there. And yeah, guys, that's the ultimate best build for net. It's really hard to lose with this build, I would say, if you play it right. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys in the next video. Take care.